Welcome back on the Decod3rs channel, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our guest, he's ABS from urFeed. We are building we're both working in the same verticals in Web3, so that's gonna be an exciting one, man. I'm excited to have you here, man.
It's good to be here, man. Yeah, we've been following each other's journey, so it's nice to see you making waves, and it's a pleasure to be here.
And thank you so much for accepting the invitation. That's pretty cool. For everyone on Twitter Space, so we are also streaming on YouTube, as you may know. So you can find all of the link if you want to see our pretty face live. You can also jump on the channel because we are also doing gonna do a demo later during the stream. So we will try to share with you what we see. But it will also be a nice conversation, so you can also enjoy it on Twitter Space. And for everyone already in the Twitter chat, YouTube chat, sorry, thank you so much for joining again. And I hope you're gonna enjoy the show and what we have to say. So, man, tell me everything about you, everything about urFeed.
Straight away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want all of it. Look, about me, me personally, I was sort of a second-generation kid, born in India, moved to the UK. I spent my youth in the UK, but then after growing up there, I spent a lot of time living across the world. So I think I was in 28 different countries. It was, enjoyed that. I spent quite a long time. I spent about 10 years in aviation. So a corporate background, real heavy corporate, it's the proper industrial stuff. But about 4 years ago, I kind of made the call. I had a moment of clarity and said, I'm going to go do something of my own. And blockchain for me was going to change the world. I started learning about it. Outside of Bitcoin, I started seeing the different applications, and then went on my journey. So I'm cool. On that journey now, right? I quit cold, had no idea what I was doing. I'm not a technical person, so I couldn't just jump in, and I had to kind of find my way. So I was actually at another startup, a fintech startup, where I met my now co-founder. They have him and his brother. They have a background in online community platforms. They've been in social platforms for pre-Facebook. So we went on this journey, and we started off on a sort of Web2 social route as an entry point. But in my head, I was I quit to go work in blockchain. So eventually, we found our way back into blockchain because I just know the power of it. So we kind of pivoted into Web3.
Nice. And how someone can make the switch from industrial background to Web3 degen stuff?
I don't know, I feel like I probably went about it the hard way, which is just all in, right? But that's just my personality. That's how I'm pretty binary, right? But I think that there's lots of ways to kind of slowly ease yourself in. I know lots of people that are kind of doing things on the side, learning, being in DAOs. A lot of people come in through the investment route and then learn and then kind of go do something of their own. But I think the space is so cool. People just want others to learn about how it works. So people are ready to teach you. So I think just embed yourself in whatever you can. I spoke to some guys, ex Google guys who, they offered their services freely up to NFT projects, and from that learned how the space worked, and then kind of were off doing their own thing. So
that's cool.
You can do it like me, or you can do it kind of a little more slower.
That's nice. I mean, it's always a journey. When you go full into something, but then you don't have a choice. It have to work now. So let's go and get it, right?
After a while, after myself and Gareth, my co-founder, have been working together, I found his social profile, and his headline was "Burn the Ships." I was like, okay, that's why we get along.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. And like, yeah, it's a way to do it. I don't know if it's like, yeah, like is there a better way or not, but like it's cool. Like we're vibing.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, exactly.
man, like okay, so for everyone who doesn't know like what yourfeed is, like, yeah, please let us know in the chat. But yeah, I will let you like describe it for like the audience that are not familiar with what you are doing right now. And yeah, we go from there.
Yeah. So look, yourfeed is a Web3 content and streaming platform. The idea is we think that everybody who brings value to a platform, whether they're users or creators or viewers only, you know, everybody who contributes should have some recognition and some value sharing, right? You look at the average social media use per day is 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think, on average, right? It's insane. It's like the thing we do most after our day jobs and sleeping, right? Like it's bananas. But nobody's getting any value out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a one directional value exchange. So, you know, from what we're trying to do is fix that. From, you know, if you look at the platforms that have become successful more recently, and I'd call out TikTok, it is the one that's kind of really challenging everybody. They share no value at all, right? Like it's like the advertising CPM for TikTok, they keep 99.7%. Like it's bananas. Creator tips, they keep 50%. Like there's just no, yeah, it's not a fair equation. So, you know, so really for us, we've been working in the space for a while, and we see mobile video applications is how the world consumes social media. It's how the world consumes information. And so we wanted to bring that and bring that to the Web3 space. And we're doing that both on a live basis and all like recorded content basis.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. And like that's why I wanted also like to talk to you on the channel, because like we have like exactly the same thesis of like what we are doing like together in our own way. But like for me, I took it the way of like the easy way in a way, like to just like oriented around like NFTs and like content creation using Web2 tools, and you choose to like go all into the platform like per se and like create like a new app, and then you need to go like you need to get all of the content creators, user, etc. How are you going to do that, bro?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's always different ways to do the same thing. Like, and I think, you know, maybe we're too early, right? Maybe the timing is wrong. We'll see. And I think that there should be people coming at it from all angles.
Yeah,
right.
No,
that you're kind of like doing it from inside the system.
Yes.
We're trying to be disruptive, more adjacent, right? And I think we all need to do what we can in to whatever, and eventually we'll all, you know, do our bit, right, and converge in the middle.
Yes,
you build the case by augmenting on top of the major platforms, right? Like I know you're building some cool shit, like what we were talking about the other day. I was like, okay, you're giving me ideas. This is really cool. Like we should talk more often. And so you're doing it on that level, right? Kind of as a layer above. And we're also, you know, we don't think that things should exist in isolation, right? Like we're going to be a place where we want to gather Web3 creators. We want to focus on Web3 creators and Web3, and then it makes it easy for us to have a supply-demand fit, because you know the people who are creating Web3 content and the users that are creating them are in the same place. When you go to the big platform, it's a bit harder because for the platforms to find people to have, because this is still quite niche, right? Like so, finding that crowd is more difficult. So. The benefit for us of having that kind of focus around the topic means that for creators, there's a natural fit with the audience, and like I guess there's more harmony that way. But yeah, look, it's not a small challenge, but it's the same thing as saying why will why would anybody use crypto payments when it's so hard to send buy and sell Bitcoin? Well, because we all get it. We're here early, right? We all get the thesis, and we'll keep working at it until we make the whole Web3 space work. And, it might take
I mean, like TikTok launched at some point, right? So like the goal is to become like the Web3 TikTok, basically, or like streaming / Twitch on mobile. And that's pretty cool. I mean, like I like your project because like if it's successful, it's gonna be fucking massive. And that's what is interesting, like to invest into project too, right? Because like in our project, in our startup, like it's kind of hard like to be successful at some like anyway. But like if it works, it's 10 billion X whatever in your investment you put in, right? So that's quite exciting. So like I think again, like based on your strategy of how you can acquire like content creators and then viewers on your platform, and then your capacity of doing that, then you can make it go big or go home. And that's cool.
That's kind of been my thesis throughout life. So that doesn't change. But yeah, dude. I mean, look, I think the thing that we have found, and that is a good strategy for startups, is find the smallest niche that you can serve, right? And so for us, now we didn't make the decision on that basis, but because we made the decision on the tech, that Solana for us as a choice has served for that thesis, because the tech absolutely makes sense to us. Like that, there is nothing else that we saw that was easy to use, fast, scalable, and then in the end, as we've been looking at it, that the community is so tight and is so social that that's become our niche. And I think we want to serve Web3, we want to serve Solana, and by focusing on the smallest niche you can, when everybody in this ecosystem is kind of like, when we all support a project, it wins. That's how our projects win, 100%. Right? So,
no, 100%. And like, okay, so what will be like the advantage of having like a native application fully Web3 for like content creators? What's your approach on that?
Yeah, look, I mean, our top level approach is progressive decentralization, right? So there are many layers to what we can do with yourfeed, and there's some that we didn't have at the start that we're now bringing in, and there's some that we still haven't got that we need to bring in. And so first is the value sharing, right? So the way the tokenomics of the platform work, the way we share value with users, let them, casual users have a way to kind of play in the game. People who spend their real livelihood, like yourself, right? People who spend real time, they have a true say where they get to direct, the decisions made by the platform. So having a say in how it's run. So that piece we're already we can do early, right? The value sharing and the control. Then as we start to reach a place where we have, more specific or a confirmation on what we think we want, where we want to end up, then we can start to decentralize more of the tech. We can start to next thing we're going to do is decentralize our streaming and use live peer. So step by step, look at the rest of the stack. What else can we decentralize? If we did all that on day one, we would have yourfeed, yourfeed that was designed 6 months ago, and it would already be out of date, right? And so that it's kind of like, so what the thing with blockchain is it's mutable. So we're slowly putting stuff in place. But I think some of the things that we can do natively, a lot of our thinking is also around kind of events. My business partners, they both have a background in live events, festivals. Gareth used to be a club promoter. And it's meant that we've kind of, think of live streams as like events, and so things like entry into live streams being ticketed with blockchain tickets, but whether you have to buy it or not, optional, automatic POAPs to people's wallets, so building in some of those things which even I guess maybe you've got them on the roadmap for what you're trying to do, but making those things easier, and then eventually starting to make it easy for people to buy and sell things on the blockchain. There's lots more, but slowly.
Yeah, that could be cool. Okay, so I remember I know on YouTube you have videos where people at some point where they were doing streaming, even on Twitch, I think, at the beginning of Twitch, they were like going in the street and like going to Tokyo or like something like that, and then like filming themselves and create stream live like that, and then the interaction of the people were like basically like happening in real time in the street, etc. And that's quite fascinating. There's some trouble sometimes with like viewers coming out more and more and more like to the event, and like that creates like crazy lineup at the restaurant and stuff. But yeah, is that something like an angle that you want to pursue? Like for example, like NFT and YC, then you can stream the whole event on your mobile. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean that's very central to what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
I remember I was speaking to Fanzo, who does the NFT 365 podcast, and he had been one of the early streamers on one of the streaming platforms, and you know it was the first time that people were able to do things on mobile, and you know it really is like mobile is everything, right?
Yeah.
I think that in terms of access, right? In terms of like show content, like formats like this are obviously amazing. But in terms of democratizing access to content creation, mobile is important.
100%. And okay, so what's your strategy to bring creators and viewers on your app? Because like, again, obviously it's like a chicken and eggs, right? Like you're not going to bring creators until you have an audience, or like you're not going to have an audience until you have like a shit ton of creators, right? Like we can see that with like Kick strategy that bring like spend millions of content creators to bring them on like and like compete with the Twitch. Do you have like something that kind of strategy too, like giving me 1 million so I can stream on yourfeed?
Yeah, look, I mean, yeah, Kick is impressive. Huh? What Kick have done is been good to watch.
They're backed by big guys.
Correct, but it's good to see the status quo change, because every time it changes, people believe that it can change. It's why COVID was such a interesting period for startups, because people saw this big event happen that completely changed reality. And so suddenly your belief in the ability for things to change massively was like, oh, okay, anything can happen. So, you know, when more and more things like that happen, it's good, no matter who it's happening for. Look, for us, it's about focusing on the people that get Web3 first, right? It's people that get the premise, people that are on the other platforms that are, you know, feeling the pressure of what it means to be a Web3 creator, getting your content taken down, you know, getting demonetized. Like I speak to guys who work with a lot of NFT projects, and they're basically saying the problem now is if you're too successful, you're basically certainly going to get banned, right? Because the rate at which Web3 is able to pick up users is not the same for any other. So you're basically put in a red box, right? Which is like, must be bots, right? And there might be bots, I don't know, right? So major projects that do well have a real risk of getting banned, right? And so we're still kind of a little bit of a pariah on these major platforms. We're not big enough for them to be to think about us as a priority. Like look how long it took Discord to give us their first Web3 feature, right? And like the entire existence of Web3 was in Discord and on Twitter, and it still took them that long, right? So there's a lot of like, we're not a big priority. So when you start to get platforms that are native, where there's a direct match, creators are seeing the benefit, right? And we're also building tools that let people exist not only on our platforms, but on a lot of the different platforms. So, you know, we're kind of easing that burden, same way as when we, you know, our go-to-market in terms of awareness and distribution, we also want to use those other platforms, right? So same thing. And then I think we're going to grow with the space, right? Like right now, we're slowly growing. It's the bear market. It's good to see that we're growing even now, right? I think month-on-month growth for the past 12 months is about 40 something %. So
that's cool.
Like, yeah. So it's, you know, it's a nice hockey stick shaped curve. Let it remain that way. And so I think it's hard yards in the early months and, you know, years. And, you know, it is what it is. I think we kind of build in spurts. Like we'll get a bunch of users, and then we'll figure out what can be better. Then we go, okay, we'll go build some shit. And so we're now coming out of that building phase. And I think that it's a great place for creators to be early, because you're basically growing with the platform. So you're not only performing yourself, but you're also experiencing growth through the performance of the platform. So it's always a risk, right? But it pays to be early on a platform. Just look at the early Clubhouse users, right?
Yeah.
Those people,
and TikTok.
Right? TikTok, absolutely. But if you look at, I won't name names, but people who had small followings on Twitter and huge followings on Clubhouse, it was basically because they were early to Clubhouse. So
that's true.
It's always risk and reward.
I need to push my shorts to your feed.
I love your shorts, by the way. Your shorts are really well edited. I love it.
Thank you. I'm gonna scale that up, because I met someone at the gym that doing exactly that, like cutting long format to short, and he wants to touch into crypto and Web3. So as soon as we start gonna work together, that's gonna be massive. Like the guy, he created his own agency. In 2 years, he had like 1 billion views. In 2 years between all of the customers. So yeah, you're gonna see more of my shorts soon. That's gonna be nice.
I love it.
Yeah. So
and I think I was gonna say you hit on a great point, which is, there's a real funnel from long form content to short form content. And now with the editing capabilities that we've got, that's also something that we're leaning on a lot, because we're able to get creators to come on, do long 1 hour shows, and then boom, like from that 10 to 20 pieces of shorts content.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's it simplifies content creation. And I don't know, when's the last time you tried to film a short by itself versus editing from a long conversation? It takes me as long to make a short, like a directly filmed short, as it does to do a 1 hour show, because I keep it's not quite right.
100%. Like when you clean the sound, like change the color, like the colorimetry, etc., etc. Like the last shot for the Yugi reveal, just like to derush it and like take the good part and like move stuff around. 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours more than 1 hour, just for a 30-second video, and choose the music, blah blah blah. I need to do better than that, and that's why I need some external help too, because I want to produce more and more content. And if I do that, just I can do the dev and stuff like that, or every conversation that happened between people when you network and stuff. So need more help with that.
Get your gym buddy on board.
Exactly.
That's the guy.
And remind me after the show to push all of my shorts to yourfeed. That will be.
I will.
I need to do that, because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago and never did it, so I fucked up.
It's all good. It's all good. You're waiting for me to come on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
to keep the momentum.
I had to tip my hat to Decod3rs.
And okay. So building your own content platform, take technical challenge too, right? And even moderation. How do you moderate the content based on the Web3 ethos of I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, and freedom of speech, etc., etc. And this decentralization aspect of it. Do you have any setup to delete videos that, I don't know, porn video or some shit like that, or even illegal not interview, but freedom of speech that going too far?
So we really haven't had to do much until now. So I guess it hasn't been challenged. We have deleted your explicit videos, which are that we kind of figured that other people reported them. So there was some community consensus. But we're kind of, I guess we have a bounds of national laws. So we have to stay within those bounds to a certain degree, unless we reach a point where we're truly decentralized and we can be outside of that. But until we're in the app store, that's hard to do.
Okay. Okay, so if you provide content as a platform, and then you need to be validated on the App Store and Android Store, etc., then your content need to be clean to get pushed on those app stores?
Yeah, correct. So so it needs to meet the App Store policies, which would be country specific, right? So you've got Apple, you've got Android, you've got then our desktop, which is a bit more free, and that can be okay, but still, I guess at the App Store, all it's doing is bringing some of those regulations up front. What you do on the internet is a bit more free and easy, but the government can still come after you, right?
Yeah.
So it's still there. So look, I mean, the way we think about it is, at the moment, it's kind of common sense. We haven't had to do too much.
Yeah.
It's trying to stay within those legal boundaries. As we go forward, we would look to have more and more community input, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's super cool.
Right, as people start to be members of the DAO, they can start to vote on these things. You can have a certain level of decision making that's given to people. So pre-decided 1, 2, 3, 4 no-go areas, and then things that come up can then be voted on. So yeah, that's kind of the way we think about it, and that's kind of on the open side of it, right? Of the main content, the sort of the everyone feed, as it were. Within communities, it's more up to the communities. Will probably be like the Discord approach, which is you're probably fine making the rules for yourselves as long as nobody's telling us that there's something like crazy going on.
Okay, and you can even imagine like someone votes to like censor or even ban by using a token. Like you have like a yourfeed token, and then like this I'm gonna use in like 1, 2, 5, and then you can take action on top of that person.
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like I like that one. We probably need to talk more about that afterwards. But like I like talking to you, bro, because you're a creator and you're a builder. It's good discourse. But yeah, there's other ways to do things, right? Like the blockchain is great, but it's not perfect for everything.
Yeah.
So like our database is built in nodes so that every user has their own node. So you could be taking part in someone's community and the content is attached to your node. If that community says we don't want you in here, it doesn't mean we delete your content. The content is still associated with your node, and then you can go elsewhere. So your existence is protected, and that we let people then manage their universe without necessarily affecting your content creation.
Okay, well, that's cool. And so another technicality that you also need to solve is like the technical aspect of it, right? Because even like the video is like bandwidth, it requires a lot of resources like behind it, like to manage like properly. And I don't know if you manage like 4K in the app right now and you store like 4K videos, but like how do you scale those infrastructure like in the background? Is that like all on Amazon and stuff like that?
Yeah. So how do you scale? Yes, currently we're using AWS.
Yeah.
We are looking to start decentralizing some of that now. So like I said, we're looking at LivePeer. There is, I guess having those kind of setups where you can scale with the provider like AWS, it makes it quite easy to scale. But you do find every time you add the next 1,000 users, the next 5,000 users, something else starts getting creaky, and then you got to fix it. But that's just how it is, right? It's growing pains, and so I think, like you grow and something breaks and you fix it, and that's the norm. But the big thing for us is, right, like, and that's okay, right? But the big thing for us is choosing Solana has meant that anything that's the blockchain side of things, we think we're okay to scale, right? Like things aren't going to get stuck. So that was one of the key critical choices that I think it's proving to be, a good choice as we go forward.
But you don't need to do like 100% of the transaction like on chain, right? Like you have a mix. It's like Web 2.5 kind of.
Correct. Yeah. But as we're going to add more and more things. So even things like every live stream having POAPs for all viewers, like all of that stuff starts to accumulate the number of transactions you're doing, not only for us but also the user. So considerations are as we go more and more, everything we'll do now is more and more on chain. So like it's going to be exponential, the load, right?
Yeah.
And especially with users, and it's going to be exponential with cost, right? So all of those things will matter more and more. And it's just, if we were trying to do that kind of stuff on ETH, it would be interesting.
Yeah, well, maybe on Polygon when you can like do like a layer 2 and like because I don't know if people will pay like $200 gas fees to send a $5 donation to ETH content creators. I don't know. Solana, yes.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I think all chains have their purposes, and they're built the way they are for for a reason. Bitcoin is digital gold. ETH, is very, very decentralized and provably so. And Solana's getting there. And I think in the end we'll find ways to work with all of them, but for their own purposes, right? And so Bitcoin is probably never going to be used to make payments, right? Outside of I'm storing a significant amount here.
I don't know, 1%. Or you can even like batch each transaction. You can like have your database doing the transaction from the user itself, and then you log like 200 transactions in one batch on ETH, and then jump on with the amount that could there is always a way. A developer will always find a way.
But is the user going to be patient enough to wait for it?
No, but like you validate the transaction off chain, and then you put it on the chain after on ETH, right?
Okay, you basically group them,
Yes, exactly. I mean, I will let you, your software engineer figure it out.
All yours.
It's like the memes that when you have a sales rep that asking a feature, telling the customers that you have a features on the app, and then you have to talk to your developer. Same shit.
Yeah. Is we have an interesting founder relationship. So one technical co-founder, one very commercial founder, and me in the middle, kind of. And the technical guys just don't. Like, just starting point is write it down, think about it, then come to me.
So what's the size of your team right now? Like 3 people, right?
No, there's 8 of us. So we've got we got 3 devs plus House, who's our technical co-founder, head of marketing, myself and Gareth.
That's nice. It's you can start doing like big things with that amount of people. That's cool. Yeah, I think Instagram, when they started, it's like less than 10 people, right? Before they sold for 1B to Facebook, right? So
cool. Reddit was the same. Reddit was
exactly.
I think small team.
Yeah, 100%. And so what so you also have like an NFT collection and like a token inside. So like right now it's not like a SPL token, but like it will come that way, right? Like how does that work? Like all of the holders benefit from the streaming platform. Tell me like the Web3 layers of this this mobile app.
Yeah, so you have the tokenomics of the platform, and you have the people NFT. People NFT, they are linked together, but you can talk about them separately. So let's look at the tokenomics. So basically anything that is value add to the platform, we try to measure, record, and reward people for. So, and that will change over time because the platform is probably going to change over time, right? And so things like if you're logging in daily, so having streaks are rewarded. If you're inviting users, rewarded. It's natural. If people are doing live streams, they get rewarded one-off and also for the amount of time they live stream.
Nice.
If people join live streams, again, as a viewer, you get rewarded. It also creates incentive for people to join, to get your viewers to join. So everything that we think adds value, we try to reward with the tokenomics. The people NFT is it's a collectible. We can actually, once I do a demo of the platform, I can show you those as well. The people NFT is a 3D digital avatar. We went with 3D because because of the nature of the platform being video, we want to use AR filters and so on, right?
That's
so
cool.
every collectible comes with a matching AR filter. And that's kind of a cool thing with the platform is you can talk as your NFT. So, some of the stuff that we're building, we built for our NFT collection, but we want to then offer to other NFT collections. So it's kind of our outreach to as we talk to different collections. And yeah, so if you're a people NFT holder, you get a token airdrop for the platform. You have boosted earnings, and you get like privileged access to features on the platform. So
nice.
Without laying out all the perks, there's quite a few, but the idea is you kind of inside the circle of people as we build.
Nice. Okay, and like other content creators, so like people can send me token during the stream, like a Twitch sub or like something like that, right? Or TikTok roses or something like that.
Yeah, so we will have many different ways. One would be natively, we're rewarding you. Second would be tipping, and it could be tipping in our native currency. It could be tipping in fiat or cryptocurrencies. So yeah, we're trying to build in all the tools, and we're very much, what we don't, as a platform, we don't want to take any money from the creator. So we anything that is a creator generated revenue, so i.e. your subscription, your tips, is a 0% take, right? And so for us, if you're bringing the people, then people follow creators, right? So that's your value, and we will make money from our own income streams, and that'll kind of selling premium features, off our own back, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, like, in content creation, like the business model already established, but we can always like innovate in a way, like in a way or another, like with Web3 features and stuff like that. It's cool. You can always have like an airdrop, royalties. That's why it's so interesting, because then like for real, we're gonna change the industry and like the way it works, because we're adding these Web3 layers. So it's gonna make money. It's gonna make a sustainable business.
Yeah, man. Like, we speak to different musicians and creators.
That's cool.
When they say, so I have a stake, and we're like, yeah, you have a stake. They're like, okay, I'm going to behave very differently if I have a stake, right? Like it's like people just see it differently. They see the upside differently. They see themselves having a not like an employer interest now. It's more like a collective. Let's build it together. And if you get, you look at things like some of the big events that have happened in the past, like Constitution DAO, those big moments in crypto, it's when people saw the power of people collectively creating value, right? And moving things. And people start to get a sense for that when you say, okay, you're going to be an owner in the platform, not just a user.
It's like the next step of like the Uber economy, right? Where like instead of just being a contractor, then you are like participate into the creation of like whatever the fuck you do or service you sell, and you get rewarded and paid for it like in the right way, paid like the decentralized way, like community decided, like community, like it's the community decide like the guideline of that, and like the amount of token you can get. It's so cool. I can't wait to be like in 5 years to see all of that end up with. Like that's gonna be fascinating to see.
Yeah. The big social platforms. Let's look at Facebook, Meta, and Instagram. Like, you think about the big brands, whether they're sports franchises or luxury brands or apparel or whatever. They basically brought all these people to the big platforms, to the social platforms. They created the cool, as it were, right? Like, and then once the platforms had the lists of who likes who, then they just got rid of the reach, right? So organic reach was taken away. So then suddenly I brought all these people here, and now I have to pay to reach them. Like, organic reach on when you post on social platforms is somewhere between 5 to 20%, right? And so, these are my followers, but I have to pay to reach them. Like, that dynamic is kind of nuts. So, we need to fix a lot of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like again, like in my pitch for Decod3rs, it's like and the idea, like the conceptualization of the idea was like to, you know, like on YouTube, you can see like the video of the content creators saying like, yeah, this is my 10 million mansion in Los Angeles, so let's do a home tour. And like I was like thinking about that and saying, okay, but like, what did the viewers get out of that? Just like 15 minutes entertainment? Like, is that fair, or like can we do better than that? And like the goal for Decod3rs is like basically, okay, I'm gonna do the same fucking videos, but it's gonna be a 7 million mansion, and I will distribute it like 3 million to my holders, right? You know, and that makes sense. You know, and like the end goal is that, and the cake is like so big in content creation and stuff that you can benefit. Like you can share it with like thousands of holders that were here from day one when they minted out like your collection, right? So yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to see what you do, bro.
Yeah.
There's an interesting statistic that, you know, we're talking about users, but also even creators.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes them a long time to get their dues. Like the average creator doesn't earn their first dollar for the first 6.5 months.
100%. No, 1%. Like, yeah, like there is, okay, when I had like 100 subscribers, if you have 100 subscribers on YouTube, you are better than 91% of the channel on YouTube. It's crazy. And if you have like 1,000 subs, it's better than 97%.
Wow.
It's that's like, like the and it takes like 1 year to get to 1,000 subs, like on a channel, like a normal channel. It took us like a bit less because we start to advertise like free mint and like free whitelist if you subscribe. So we had some growth because of that. We will see how we will end up with the number of subscribers post mint. But yeah, like it gave us like a little push.
Yeah, man, we got some good tools in Web3.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. 100%. And everything is a marketing stunt anyway, right? Like you have to bring people the right way to like put some eyes on your project, because yeah, that's how it works. And that's interesting. Like it's social experimentation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And sorry, but like to talk about that, like what's your marketing strategy to bring like again more eyes on the app and like make everyone understand that what you are doing is fucking cool?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of lots of different layers. The thing that's about to happen right now is we are, I think, one of 15 apps on the Solana mobile phone. So that's bringing us quite a lot of press recently. And you know, obviously, if somebody's paid $1,200 for a phone, which is, you know, they are bullish on crypto. They're, you know, high value users who get the value of, you know, what social media is about, hopefully. And so, yeah, so that's our next big push. And then outside of that, we've got Gareth through his previous lives has quite a good network. They growth hacked Cannes Lions. So, you know, they had more coverage than Facebook and Mark Ronson, Kim Kardashian, and they're just growth hackers by nature. So, you know, we've got a lot of stuff in the works. Yeah, so we kind of we've been holding on because it's always like I'm very much like, let's do it now. Let's go now. But these guys have, especially Gareth, they've been through this building cycle, and it's always, you got to wait for the right time when the platform's there. And I think so we got some good stuff planned. And I think in terms of the initial Web3 growth phase, you know, we're just setting up now NFT filters, so you can come to the platform, connect your wallet, and with the collections that we're going to partner with, you can connect your wallet and use a filter associated with your wallet. So I think we're going to see some good growth out of that. It's kind of like a, you know, kind of like a fun thing. I'll see if I can show you some of the filters, but I think once we start to deploy that, people are gonna find that interesting.
I mean, should we do the demo now?
Yeah, we can do the demo now. Okay. Let's see.
Let me get your screen. Like, okay. That should pop up back to OBS after that. Stack. Hopla. Okay. Stack. And let me set that up. It's okay. Okay. You're on YouTube on your screen. That's perfect. Okay, so for the people on Twitter Space, like right now we are seeing like I guess that's the homepage of like your feed on the web version, and we have like a lot of stream happening, and like we are displaying all of the posts, etc.
Yeah. So look, we have optimized for mobile. So
okay, I need to mute. Wait. I think I need to cut the song. I think. Yes, because I can.
It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's muted. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say we've optimized for mobile. So when you optimize for mobile, obviously you kind of have to have some compromises in terms of layout. So what you're seeing is a desktop version of a mobile optimized app. So this is a short form content in the app, which is a vertical feed. It's both a combination of content that's posted as shorts and also content that is chopped up from live streams. So this is the sort of recorded content. We're just bringing in text chat now. I won't show you that, but I'll kind of show you the wallet side of things. So you can see here I've earned coins. There's two layers. So your coins are is kind of like a linear measurement. It's our native coin, and then your token is our governance token, which is going to be on chain. So I can claim my coins, and then with those I can buy these bounty boxes. So again. Let's see, is that going to work? All right, yeah. So you can see my your token balance going up as I'm doing that, and then so a lot of the stuff we've done is optimized for mobile, but really the live streaming is the one that we knew that we needed to optimize for desktop as well, because a lot of creators are on live, and I've just realized that. I'm going to need to start this 1 second. So the live is where we have a lot of the filters already in view. So let me just bring that up.
Yeah, because like I can basically connect like the via RTMC, I forgot the protocol, but like directly to streaming to your platform too, right? It's just like one more network on it, right? That's cool.
Yeah, you can it's our RMTP, I think it's called.
Yes, RMTP. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's the one. All right. So yeah, we've got live, and then on live you got a bunch of different filters.
Nice.
And, we use our NFT, which is the people, but we also have a bunch of others that we've started to put in. This is one that I made for Dr. Solana. So pretty simple, but we can do that quite easily, and so we're going to do that for a lot of different collections, and they'll get better over time, right? We made some for some of our friends who I think this one's an ETH one. So again, multi-user live stream. So I'm just showing you a quick demo, but you can have up to 10 people on stream, and then people can be on text. They can participate during text, and you can have like safety filters, which are kind of like fully cut out, or you can have these ones, which you can see the person as well. So yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. And like, okay, so yeah, like for me, like if I want to use that again, like I can push my content directly to your platform, and like stream the way I do streaming right now, but like increase like the visibility of the show with your user, which is pretty cool because again, it's new, and if it's like in the next 6 months to a year, like it's gonna be like a big success, then I will be early.
Yeah. Don't use so many ifs. When?
When? Yeah, when.
Yeah. No, absolutely, dude.
No,
I mean,
cool.
it's an exciting time. Like I think with startups and also with any project, timing is really the thing, right? That we would all love to control, but we don't, right? And so when we make it out of this bear market, like it is signs that we've kind of had the worst of it, but it feels like the timing might be right. And that's, it's part luck, it's part hustle, it's part survival. But if you stay alive, you win. And I think we're all going to be in a good place very soon.
And did you raise money like to survive this bear market, or like what's your burn rate?
So we've raised funds from our personal networks and professional networks. So people that we've worked with primarily. So angels, and we are raising money now from institutionals.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
We've got quite far on a small budget, and it's a lot of it's to do with Gareth and Howells and our networks, and when we've been able to pull in favors, it just so happened, like I have friends in the crypto side, these guys have friends in the social side, developers and so on. That's cool. We've been able to do a lot. But yeah, now fundraising.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. But like, so when do you think the bull market will come back?
Tomorrow would be a good timing.
Yes, please.
I don't know, man. I think the direction is now good, right?
Yeah.
It seems to already be getting. Yeah, right. We've seen the bottom. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just I don't think I'm qualified to make those kind of statements.
I mean, no financial advice. It's in the description of the video. We good.
Yeah.
But
but we're doing all the rain dances and all the sacrifices we can, right? Like doing as much voodoo as we can practice.
I mean, like personally, I like to think that with the Bitcoin halving, like we should see like some price movement, and hopefully to the top right corner. So yeah, I mean that was the narrative in the last couple of years, right? So yeah, hopefully history repeats itself.
Yeah, and I think even before it starts to feel like it's come back, you'll start to see. In certain sections, you'll start to see movement. So investors will start to feel, institutional investors will start to feel, okay, I can start making a slightly wider range of decisions. I don't have to be so conservative. If you've got results, you will get funded, right? So it'll come out of the stuff that's kind of like just where you're locked and nothing's moving. So yeah, it may not be utopia, but things will get better slowly by slowly.
Like to counter this macro environment, and like while we wait for the next bull market, like what's going to be your focus for the next couple of months, like on the app, on like the community, etc.?
So we keep building new features. So we're starting to do more and more things, bringing things more on chain. So start to have custodial wallets. Like our big thing is we want to onboard mainstream users. So having custodial wallets is a big part of that. Letting people have the crypto experience in 1 or 2 steps, right? Previously, crypto experience was 8, 12, I don't know how many steps. Buying crypto, setting up wallets, clearing KYC. So we want to allow that ease of use. We're also building live POAPs and live stream POAPs. So making that bringing that stuff to life. I mentioned around the filters. And so I think what we're going to be focusing on is doing a lot of the B2B, right? Relationships. What we found in the bear market is the noise to signal ratio got fixed, right? So like when you talk to somebody, they know what you're about, right? They know you're not a chancer. And so we've been able to have a lot more meaningful conversations. And then we're going to take advantage of that, right? Because people get what you're doing and they have time to, you know, in an up-only market, every minute I talk to you, I lose some money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like time is money, like literally. So in a bear market, that means that we can do a lot of more relationship building. And, you know, we're essentially bringing utility to a lot of collections. So,
cool.
you know, what we like to do is give people a way to connect in you know, right now we sit behind our PFPs with our voices and with text, and we want to let people do that in a more creative way. So working with different NFT collections to bring their collections to life on video. And, you know, I think Web3 was very anti-video for a long time. It was, right? It was non-doxed. It was, you know, people didn't want to show their face. And some of that was kind of like cultural, and, you know, people just weren't the type of people that wanted to be on camera. And but, you know, Gareth has a great saying, which is, there are no famous radio presenters, right? And right, there might be locally, but internationally there are literally none. Right?
And that's why they bring like cameras in the studio so they can have content on with the radio, right? Makes sense.
So if you want to create a brand, if you want to be a presence in the space, your personal brand or your company brand or your DAO brand, you need to harness video. And so we want to be partners with all of our friends in the ecosystem. And I think the way we would like to do that is use these long form discussions, long form sessions where people naturally just speak, right? Like it's very easy to get on a call and speak because you don't have to go, oh, did I say it right or whatever, right? So people are used to doing that, and then help them then chop that up and create that into packaged short form content that they can then deploy, whether it's on your feed or it's on any of the social platforms. We're also in this real, like, it's an unusual time where all social platforms are harnessing the same format video. So you create once and you can send it everywhere, right? Like even Twitter is now prioritizing video, and like whoever thought that was going to be the case, right? So we see that, and we want to help people with that. So we're definitely not about keeping stuff trapped on our platform. However we can help people create content, let that spread the message out far and wide on all the platforms.
I mean, and again, for you, like we already discussed that together, but like I think there is like definitely a way to grow on top of like the Web2 platform and bring that traffic directly into a Web3 centric application, because then like you just see the content that Web3 degen want to see and not all of the other bullshit, right? Like the same way you created your Twitter timeline, you can also like get all of the content in the one place. And that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's more and more tools coming out. Like there's another one I found the other day called repurpose.ai, which literally builds a workflow to connect from one platform to the other, right? And so we're just embracing these things because, you know, we see it, right? So just make it easy for creators. You know what they're trying to do. Be a part of their workflow. Don't make it harder for them. So, you know, I think in terms of users, man, like, you know, Anatoly was speaking the other day about the Solana mobile, you know, and we don't need a lot of users in Web3 to have a great community, right? 100%. And to have a very valuable community, right? And not only in a like a heartwarming sense, but also in a dollar sense, right? Like you can do a lot with a small community, and everyone gets that. So so for crypto Web3 communities, slow, steady traction is what we need.
100%. That's what, like, sometimes like founder go, how do we onboard the next billion user? Like, we're not, like, my mother is not coming tomorrow. Like, not happening.
And if she comes, she'll leave.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, like, you know, like Facebook, like, start to lose, like, user when, like, the grandparents were there and then the kids left, right? So, it's tricky. And I like I mean, you need growth no matter what. So at some point you need to get there. But like, like, how do you explain like wallets, decentralization? Like it needs an effort. Like it requires an effort to get in. Once you're in, like like you still need some time to put your hand around everything, like and not getting rid of like your 20,000 ape JPEG. But like, yeah, like I like the fact I already talk about that with like a coffee break or something. Like I like the fact that Web3 required an effort to get in and stayed in, instead of democratizing that also too, with like, and then we have everyone, and then like getting Facebook when I still want to be TikTok, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you need time for the culture to form, and if it moves too quickly, it can dilute that, right?
Yeah.
Like, also there's like some funny stuff, like Snapchat, who recognized that they didn't want the parents coming, right?
Yeah.
And so they literally hid the features, right? So Snapchat, you had to know that you had to hold down the screen. There was no button to get the magic to happen. So all these folks would come, and unless somebody had shown you, right, like somebody in your class, it was hard to figure out. Also created like a bonding experience for the people that showed each other.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an initiation process.
Yeah.
And that's what we have in Web3 too, right? Like you download your wallet and blah, blah, blah. You have to read the thread of one guy who is like a PFP of a monkey that they're gonna explain to you how to install your Phantom and then your Ledger, etc. That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
But no, this industry is fascinating, and with like the content creation verticals, combination of both is insane.
Yeah.
But
It's going to be fun. It's going to be. So I was going to say it's going to be good coming out of the bear market, man, because I think we're also have had that bonding moment of like, what just happened.
We're going to be the bear market builders that going to collect the rewards during the bull market. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we are like starting to get above like the hour, so yeah, we can start to wrap it up. The thing that we talk about. Like I still have a couple of questions for you, but like to keep it like short for everyone and consuming. And yeah, I don't want to take all of your night. Because you're in London, so yeah, need some rest.
It's even later for you, isn't it?
What?
I said it's even later for you.
It's 11.
Yeah,
but that's okay. I'm not gonna like. I like to work by night with the US time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, okay. So like, Evan, like, okay, so we haven't mentioned it, but like, what do you think about like the multi-chain future? Like, do you think about like you talk about ETH and Sol, but like in the app, even in your product, that do you want to see like a multi-chain wallet, or like or do you think we will have, like, again, like you said, Bitcoin is for like the gold digital, and then ETH will be for, and also like the silver, and Solana will be for DeFi, gaming, and all of the poor transaction for the poor?
I've kind of changed my mind on this over time. So I don't know if I have like a steady answer, but my current point of view is probably there's going to be things that are used, like use case driven, right? So is it store of value? Is it a sophisticated transaction mechanism that can do complex things? Is it easy to use and scalable? So that's I think there will be different chains for different purposes. Will there be multiple chains? I mean, we are building to cater for many things. So like wallet gating for NFTs and so on. We have both MetaMask, we have Phantom. We'll probably add more. But I think I like Anatoly's thoughts around this as well. And every time I listen to that man, I get bullish. Again on Solana. He's just like, he just articulates everything so clearly. And his point is, there's probably going to be one super app, and whatever that super app is attached to is probably what's going to win, right? And so, right, and I think that's because even as I start to think, could we have our we can definitely have NFTs on different chains. That's possible. Okay, but could we have our token on multiple chains? And it starts to get so complex, right? Like we saw, like Stefan kind of did it, and like I'm not sure that that solves things. That creates more problems.
Yeah.
So for we may just have different parts of our lives on different chains. It's probably
that's basically what's happening. Yeah, like I can trade on ETH, I can trade on Sol, but like I don't really mix things up, right? That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be again. That's gonna be interesting for sure to see what's happening and what like project founders are implementing, like to like create or not this multi-chain wall for sure. But I can't wait to see Solana at $10,000 because we take over ETH.
Time to buy some more Sol.
Exactly. Let's go. Yeah, okay, so like I have 2 questions for you, like to wrap up the show. Okay, what's the question you wish people ask you but they never do?
What's the question that you wish people ask you?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people ask me a lot of questions. A lot of people people don't know about my previous life. I guess in terms of so this is probably the most I've talked about the transition from a Web2 world to Web3, and I think that's quite formative, right? Like a lot of people in this space are kind of like, this is their first space, right? They're like straight out of uni or not uni, or they're kind of, it's like their first experience of like managing shit and like money matters. Whereas if you're coming to it from a previous life, it can often get forgotten. So yeah, I think there's a certain amount of things that people, mindset that people bring from their previous lives that I think is valuable. And we tend to forget to ask people about that in the space, and it tends to be about what projects did you aim into, how long have you been in crypto?
Yeah. That's true, and that's also like because of the docs, non-docs part, right? So good shift. Like last question, who should be the next guest? And you can make the introduction.
The next guest, you've had quite a lot of people on already, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting started.
You're just getting started. I'd love to introduce you to Palmer. You know Palmer?
No.
Palmer, because you're kind of interested in the Bitcoin ordinal side of things. So
yes.
He's working on ordinals related projects, Bitcoin related projects.
Nice.
Very, very much part of the Solana community, and then started focusing more. So happy to make the intro.
Oh yeah, that would be cool to have like an ordinal show for sure. That would be cool.
Yeah. I saw you getting your head into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with mainly with like the Decod stuff, like the Decod mints, I had to get tried, and then like I also have like one from the Catalina Wells because it was free mint on ordinals if you had like 5 wells, and I just bought 5 to get that free mint. So it's not free because I bought other shit, but whatever. And other than that, like bro, like I can spend more time like digging, doing like a crazy fundamental research stuff with everything going on. But that's it's gonna be interesting. Like I don't know like the mindset of like Bitcoin maximalist about ordinals because it's kind of fucked up the network in a way.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah. I think they just there was so left spelt out in the code when there was all these people having fun with NFTs, and they were like, but it's not Bitcoin, right? Like, and then finally they could get in on the fun.
I don't know, 100%. Yeah, like they're gonna change the narrative. Like, man, if Bitcoin becomes like the next NFT chain, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand enough about the tech or how it's done, to be honest, but Yeah, that would be it. That would be a big thing.
It's just a transaction because there is no smart contract, so you can do shit like you have to do it like the just send a transaction and then it needs to be in the right wallet, because if you don't do that, then your NFT can be also like put into one of your Bitcoin, and then if you send some money, then your ordinal is also attached to that transaction because it's a stat.
All right.
So you can
Sounds like
fuck up a
we're
lot.
trying to do smoke signals.
Yeah.
We have phones
it
now.
was a fun experience anyway. Yeah, do you have anything to tell to our like viewers, people on Space? Anything you want to, any alpha that you want to drop? It's your
Come check
moment.
us out.
Yes.
I mean, yourfeed.xyz, urfeed.xyz. We're going to be doing a lot of activations coming up. Come take part in our tokenomics and own yourself some your tokens and getting early. And definitely the people mint is going to be fun. So we're going to be doing a lot of activations around the Solana mobile, but you don't have to be a Solana mobile phone user to take part. So come and get involved. I think for anybody who's got who's part of an NFT community, whether you're a member or you're one of the core team, we'd love to talk to you and create filters for your members. So you can ask your peeps, and we will create.
I will drop you the art of Decod3rs, and then we can have filters. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Priority
number one.
A mint date?
Sorry, we don't have a mint date. It's probably going to be a month or so from now.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay. We're kind of ready. We're waiting. We've been, we've been ready for a while, but the market's been a little bit nuts.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so we're kind of ready to go.
Yeah, no, sorry. Well, but once you mint it, I will create like a channel on the Discord with like the like a Matrika, so we can all hang out together. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Like that was a real pleasure. Thank you, everyone, like in the audience on Twitter Space and live chat. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Man, like we're gonna keep talking together. We're gonna build together. I need to post my short and soon like set up the stream directly to the app. That could be cool.
Yeah, let's do it. We need to get you doing live shows on there as well. You gotta.
Yes. Oh yeah. Never natively. Yeah, like from mobile. That could be interesting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your time. For everyone watching this video and this stream, please subscribe to the channel, because again, that's gonna give you a whitelist for upcoming mint. It's gonna be the best collection ever, with the people too. Like you need to mint both. So just do it. Put a comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next stream. Bye.
Peace.